Nellie Bly was a pioneer in investigative journalism and an advocate for women's rights in a male-dominated field. She was born Elizabeth Jane Cochran and got the inspiration for her pen name Nellie Bly from the song you are listening to right now. United States society used to be more focused on agriculture and farming. However, after the Civil War ended, it shifted towards urban industry and northern cities. With the growth of industries such as textiles and steel, northern factories increased manufacturing and motivated immigration to the region. Factories were becoming more common and extremely lucrative. During the Gilded Age, a new class of millionaires emerged, with members such as Andrew Carnegie and J.D. Rockefeller. The Progressive Era was also growing during this period, and it saw calls for reform in political, social, and economic movements. Women's suffrage and temperance were especially popular. Leaders such as Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton fought for women's rights during this period. In the late 1800s, the role of most women was to stay at home, marry, and raise children. Higher education was not common and was mostly reserved to the upper class. Due to this lack of education and societal expectations, it was uncommon for women to hold professional positions. Although some women were entering the workforce, their roles were mostly as unskilled factory laborers, maids, or laundresses. During a time when women typically remained in the home, Nellie Bly went against traditional gender roles by pursuing a career in journalism. This empowered more women to seek out professional positions and challenge social normalcies. In one of her most notable works, 10 Days in a Madhouse, Bly faked insanity to investigate an asylum on Blackwell's Island. Her work undercover on the island revealed the awful mistreatments in mental health facilities and helped improve conditions for patients. Working for Joseph Pulitzer's paper, The New York World, Nellie Bly went undercover in the asylum for 10 days. To prepare for her time on the island, Nellie Bly studied mental conditions and perfected her craft. During her time at the asylum, Bly witnessed and documented many instances of abuse and poor treatment. These included physical beatings, unsanitary conditions, patients being served rotten food, or being neglected. Neglect included being forbidden from reading or writing, or not being intellectually stimulated. Many patients were also wrongfully incarcerated for reasons such as language barriers as immigrants or from poverty. By going undercover in the facility, Bly was able to reveal the truth about mental health treatment in an adventurous and inventive manner. Her findings were published in her book, 10 Days in a Madhouse, as well as in various newspapers. They were immediately popular and sparked national calls for asylum reform. As a result of Bly's courageous investigation in the asylum, New York City allotted $1 million more per year to go towards mental health treatments. Although there were other journalists and muckrakers at the time, such as Jacob Riis, few went as far as Nellie Bly to uncover the truth. Jacob Riis was a popular photographer in the late 1800s, famous for documenting the often poor quality of life in the New York City slums. One of his most popular books, How the Other Half Lives, showed the harsh reality of tenement living and called for social reform. Through photography, Reese documented tenement living in New York City and the often poor conditions of factory labor. He exposed the dangerous conditions inside of factories and the common practice of child labor during this period. Reese, unlike Nellie Bly, only documented these poor conditions through photographs rather than experiencing them firsthand or going undercover. Among her stay at the asylum, Nellie Bly had many amazing adventures while working for the New York World under Joseph Pulitzer. In 1889, Nellie Bly embarked on a world tour while working for the paper. Inspired by Jules Verne's novel Around the World in 80 Days, Bly completed her journey in a record time of 72 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, and 14 seconds. Along with daily updates in the New York World, Bly published a book called Around the World in 72 Days after the completion of her journey. These publications helped bring Bly to fame and were widely popular across the nation, especially at a time when women did not typically travel alone. From going undercover in an asylum to traveling the world, Nellie Bly made many accomplishments during her lifetime. She helped improve mental health treatment in asylums, advocated for women's rights in a male-dominated field, and became a pioneer in investigative journalism.